Beethoven chooses to end his set of variations with a minuet, a graceful dance. And I find such beautiful symmetry in his design. We begin with a beer hall waltz, and we end with a delicate spiritual dance. Variations on a dance should end with a dance. What an elegant idea. It's about passion and obsession. It's about Beethoven, who in 1819 and 1820, at the height of his genius and towards the end of his life, faced with great illness, decides to write 33 variations on a fairly trivial waltz. 50-second waltz, which he turns into a 50-minute great composition, one of the great compositions for piano solo. Why? And over the years, music scholars have wondered why. I play a contemporary musicologist who am also, toward the latter part of my life, facing certain challenges, and am obsessed to answer this question. I don't buy necessarily what has been the easy answer to this, but really, why did he do this? And we are both characters in the play, and there's this interweaving of past and present. She is on a professional quest, but in fact, as is often the case, underneath that is a very personal quest.
The way that I actually learned about this it was funny. I was coming back home from a Broadway show, and I stopped at the Tower Records on 66th Street, that is no longer there, and I wanted to buy some Beethoven music, and the salesperson said, "Have you heard the 33 variations by Beethoven?" And I said, "No." And he basically proceeded to tell me the story of my play. And I heard the story of the play, and I became so fascinated with it that when I got home, I knew I started writing. That night, I started writing. I wrote down the beginning of the play.
I'd never read a play like it. It was stylistically different. It's a true ensemble piece. But we have a classical pianist, a great pianist, who plays as I'm thinking, as Beethoven is writing. So this 33 variations is musically present throughout. And I mean, I just said, I feel so drawn to this.
I think that the thing that was most challenging for me, and the thing that I'm most excited about, is that, you know, there are the past and the present come together to allow her to discover something. And the thing that she discovers, of course, is something about Beethoven and something about the quest that she was on, but it is also something about herself and about living. And I think that you know, the play has been done in Washington and in La Jolla, and we keep hearing that over and over, that audiences can connect to that part of her quest.
There's so much humor in the variations. Beethoven is mocking the waltz, showing it for all its ineptitude. You can see it in so many of the sketches.
Well, that's one hypothesis.
Diabelli's waltz is trivial, it's commonplace. Beethoven will go on to show Vienna what a great composition he can make out of a grain of sand. I feel very lucky. I feel blessed that this came along at this time in my life. Being back here, I haven't lived here since the 50s, so coming back, it's odd, but I like it. It's exciting, it's stimulating. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, so this is pretty exciting. I like the feeling of community. I'm really looking forward to becoming part of the theater community here. In a way, you know, because you interact with your fellow actors differently when you're in theater than you do in movies. In movies, you kind of cut and you go to your trailer. You know, now we're together. We're watching each other from the sidelines and rooting each other on. And I'm looking forward to really be immersing myself in the theater community during these months that I'm going to be here.
I'm trying to write a little part for Tulia, but we haven't found one yet, Tulia, have we?
Moises calls her the Valium of the,
the company.
Of the company. When she's, I mean, look, she's so calm. She pretty much minds her business and sits on the side.
But it's funny because you see that an actor has an important scene or has been working on something very emotional. Invariably, 2 minutes later, you'll see them with Tulia on their lap. So yes. Tulia has become a very important part of the company.